What's up, everybody? Good morning. Tommy here, Math Productions, out in the garage before work, and Pon's with me. And you might be asking yourself, what is this on screen? Is this Star Wars again? But you got a ship this time? You're showing the load order again, but there's non-Star Wars mods. What's going on here? Well, I was so inspired by my little Star Wars light load order that we put together the other day that I expanded on it, right? Fairly extensively. Look at the little graph at the bottom of the screen that shows like the storage space that's available for mods. I think that's the furthest to the right of any load order that I've showed off on this channel. I'm pretty sure. Tons of overhauls and replacers for factions, big and small, and individual characters, equipment, weapons, contraband even, aesthetical stuff like posters and billboards, the vending machines. We added in a bunch of additional Star Wars stuff from what we had in that light load order, vehicles as well. But then I also incorporated, for the load order you've been seeing us scroll through on screen, I've incorporated a whole bunch more of my standard mods, right? My favorite mods that I always play with: OG Tennessee's realistic oxygen meter, Ghost Rider's underwater diving, the NPC schedules and routines. You know what I'm saying? Like a bunch of those mods added in with the Star Wars, the expanded Star Wars stuff now, for one load order for this playthrough, right? What you're seeing on screen is how I'm starting this playthrough with this load order. Instead of using SKK's Fast Start mod like I normally do, just using the variant that has you start out as a member of the Crimson Fleet. So we started out in this Star Wars based universe as a member of the fleet, but housekeeping stuff that we're gonna do first is come over to Akila. We'll go ahead and set our equipment. You'll see on screen some of the visual changes that some of these Star Wars mods have made, right? For the blasters, space suits, you know what I'm saying? Once we get down to the throwables, check out the CCDs though. Look at that, freaking cool, right? But anyway, so we set up our gear real quick, our hotkeys, in Akila City. The main reason we're stopping here, grabbing a couple new buddies that are added via Star Wars mods, but also wanted to show off. So I showed off this before in the last video, right? Talking to this guy. But when I showed off the Marshal, it was just with a new outfit. Well, I added in an extra one. Check this out. Wait a minute. Buddy in the white suit. That's the Marshal. Marshal Akbar. You know what I'm saying? So we added in a couple extra things from that last load order. But we're going to get two little buddies. There's a cute little buddy and then a familiar buddy, right? We're going to grab them, and then spoilers, we're going to go to Neon. And Neon, we're gonna, thanks to Bad Clams 83 Gaming, we're gonna grab some credits out of a chest, and then we're gonna purchase the Math Dark Fang Mach 1. That's gonna be our ship that we're gonna use, of course. And then from Neon, we'll get to where we started the video, and we'll end the video in Tatooine before truly ending the video by showing again that full load order from top to bottom. But I'm really actually excited about this. So obviously the main playthrough, the one that we play on the Xbox, that we're streaming, right? That's still the one, the main one that's going to get the majority of the attention, right? But every so often I think in my head, I'm like, man, what's another game that could be fun that I could play that would be similar enough to Starfield that like it's not going to be like, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of a viewer whiplash when you're like, hey, I'm used to the Starfield, what is this game? Because like I always think about putting up like college football or Madden or something like that. I might still do that. I think a few people might be interested in that maybe. But this satisfies, it scratches that itch for me, right? Of wanting to play something different, wanting to be able to make content for whatever I'm playing that's different, but it's still familiar. This is still Starfield for sure. But with all of these mods that are focused on the Star Wars properties, right? Their aesthetics, their play, it feels like a different game. It looks like a different game. It looks familiar. That's Neon, right? When you go into Neon, there's a hut statue. Bayou's a hut. There's tons of aliens and droids that are walking around, roaming around. Even goods that you can buy look different than what you're used to without these mods, right? we're using the cheat terminal so we can give ourselves piloting 3, so that way we can actually use the Dark Fang. We're going to use some of these extra credits after buying the Dark Fang to check out one of these new vehicles that I added. It's like a land speeder. I don't know what it's called really, but it's super cool, and it's blue. I think you can probably change the color. It gives you a covered and an uncovered. Here you go, one with the sidecar or not. We're gonna go uncovered with the sidecar. And sadly, the Greedo companion that we picked up, he does talk like Greedo, which is super cool, but he doesn't get in the sidecar of this thing, right? Neither does our cute little buddy. But this is a cool vehicle. Probably not as efficient out in the field as the Grav 7.9. We put that in this load order because the Grav 7.9, there's no contest, right? That one's my favorite land vehicle. But we wanted something that looked the part, you know what I'm saying? So we grabbed that one. That's all we're doing in Neon. Let's save. The reason I'm saving each step of the way, not just good practice, but one thing I've noticed with this load order, before recording this, I tried another save that I started last night, right? But I noticed with that save that it started, whoop, Greedo has no head. Greedo has no head and no hands. What? I thought that was an issue, but just give it a few seconds. You'll see, it's weird. I have no explanation. But look at this little buddy. And because of Ghost Rider's Tatooine patch, we can definitely try to catch this little buddy. Bam! Got him! Got our first little actual Xenopet buddy. Let's take you guys out. You guys are mad. My bad. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. Greedo's head and his hands are back. I got no idea. Just took a second to load in. You know what I'm saying? Just took a second to load in. It's all right. Everything's working. Everything's been working so far as we've been going place to place. But in the save file I started last night, it started to get issues where, like, if I exited the game and then tried to go back in, the load time to enter into the game was going crazy. It could have been my 5G, could have been my Wi-Fi, I don't know, because this is all back to my phone via cloud gaming with the Backbone controller. So it could have just been that. But yeah, as you've been seeing on screen, I did speed up this footage, obviously, but aside from speeding it up, you guys have been seeing from when I loaded in, after I created my character, I wanted to leave a little mystery. Is this one going to be the Tommy character or the Brick character? Now we got one of each. We got Tommy in Star Wars Starfield, and we got Brit in the standard modded Starfield, right? But this is how I got the footage at the beginning. When we landed into Tatooine, for some reason it put us at the opposite end from the spaceship. I don't know why I didn't do the loading animation, or the landing animation, I don't know. But look how awesome that Dark Fang looks in this landing bay. Super, super cool. We're gonna grab the speeder. This is how we lined up that opening shot. Just cut out the part that we used, duplicated it, and moved it to the front. You know what I'm saying? It took a lot of thought. It took a lot of thought and effort from my right thumb, but we made it happen. Dude, whether I'm recording in the garage or live streaming in the garage, whenever you're in the garage with me, bro, and I am talking to an electronic device, you are making noise. That's going to be like a new thing, begrudgingly for me on this channel, apparently, is the more I got to do stuff with the dog, the more he's like, dude, I'm a part of this. But this is for the most part it. We're going to walk into the cantina. We're going to set up our actual gameplay settings, make sure all that's in order. And then we're going to end the video showing off the load order one more time. I say it all the time. I promise, give me time, and I will write it down line for line, and I'll get it posted in the community section and in the description of the video, I promise, and then each video. But give me time. It's not going to happen right now. I am recording this right before getting ready for work. I'm going to try to export it and upload it, so it should be available here today, Wednesday, right? I'm not sure the date. I ain't looking right now because we're recording on the phone. But I hope that you guys are excited for this playthrough. I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be tons of fun. Star Wars based. Again, not the main one that we're going to put the most time in, but for a little bit of fun on the side to show off some amazing mods by Radiclown, by Crossbow, and a bunch of other ones. These mods are really, really cool, and they're going to be a lot of fun to show off. So I'm going to quit talking. I'm going to let the music play through and load orders on screen. I hope you liked this video. If you did, I hope you press the like button. Hope you consider subscribing to the channel. There's obviously tons of content on the way. Normal play, Star Wars play, everything in between. Let me know in the comments below what you think, what you're most excited to see next. And as always, take care.